Hello everyone, Philip Galinsky from Samba New York here. In this video lesson, I'll be teaching you what I consider to be the basic pattern for samba on the chocalho. In my understanding, chocalho is the general term in Portuguese for any kind of shaker instrument. And in Brazilian music, we have a wide variety of shakers. Even within the samba, there's quite a variety. In a small group samba context, we can often find this tubular shaker, which is often referred to as a ganzá. We can find this even smaller egg shaker or ovo. And in the Bateria, or the carnival samba, we can find other types of chocalhos like this one, which has sets of jingles that rock back and forth and create a really powerful sound. In either case, whether we're playing in a small group samba context outside of carnival, such as a samba or pagode band or a roda de samba, or in the Bateria for carnival, in the samba schools, for example, the essential rhythm is the same, and the basic movements are the same. The basic movements are going to be front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front. And the basic rhythm is going to be none other than the basic subdivisions of the samba. What are the basic subdivisions of the samba? Well, we can count samba in 4 beats like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in a small group samba situation, in which we have one surdo bass drum that's playing the pulse, the foundation of what the surdo plays is going to be a muted tone on beats 1 and 3, and an open tone on beats 2 and 4, like this. Boop, boom, boop, boom, boop, boom, boop, boom. And if we take each one of those 4 main beats in the samba, and we subdivide them into 4 smaller beats, we get this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Okay, but obviously that doesn't sound like samba yet, so the samba subdivisions have, first of all, a particular accent pattern. So typically, the first subdivision of the beat is accented the most. It's the strongest accent. Subdivisions 2 and 3 tend to be quiet, unaccented, and subdivision 4 tends to be accented but not as strongly as the first subdivision. So when you put that together, we have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Now, it still doesn't sound like samba because we have to play with the spacing of the subdivisions. I've just vocalized the subdivisions as evenly spaced, but in samba they're not evenly spaced. In my opinion, to get the samba swing, or the way that I get the samba swing, is I delay the second subdivision and I anticipate the fourth one. Now I go into more detail on this subject in a couple of videos, quite a few videos on the channel. For example, an introduction to the samba rhythm, how to get the samba swing on the pandeiro. There's also a sneak peek into the 3rd Surdo Intensive Certificate course. Those 3 videos cover the swing in more detail. So if you haven't seen those videos yet, I encourage you to watch those first and then come back here. But the basic idea is that I get the samba swing by delaying the second subdivision and anticipating the 4th one. So what that sounds like is boop, boom, boop, boom, takaraka, 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 ta. And in my opinion, this is the basic pattern for samba on the chocalho, as well as a variety of other samba percussion instruments such as the repenique, the caixa, the pandeiro, the tamborim, depending on the context. Okay, so let's jump right into the technique. So for this video lesson, I'm going to be showing you the basic pattern for samba on the chocalho using this beautiful practice chocalho by Contemporânea. It has rubber jingles, so it doesn't make a lot of sound. It's great for practicing at home or in situations in which you can't make a lot of sound. So this is just the way that I play the chocalho. The way that I do it is I hold the chocalho on the ends here of the frame. So I have my thumb in the back like this, and I either put my forefinger, my index finger, and my middle finger on, on the handle, and my ring finger is either going to be on the handle as well, or it's going to be tucked under like this. So sometimes I go like this, sometimes I go like this. So it's a very personal thing how you hold the instrument, but generally speaking, I hold it straight like this. And the first movement that I'm going to teach you is the first forward movement, which is the strongest accent. To prepare for that subdivision, that stroke, we're going to make sure that our jingles are all in the back position here. So in other words, we don't get you see here how they're positioned back. They're all back so that when we start our rhythm, we can get just a clear sound. We don't get brrrr, right? So make sure the jingles are back. You can tilt the chocalho slightly back to make sure that they're in the back position. And then all we're gonna do to get that first stroke is we're gonna extend our arms all the way forward until all the jingles are in the front position. Okay, so we can make a loud stroke that way, all right? So I'm using mostly my arms, mostly my arms, right? But I do keep my wrist a little bit loose. Some chocalho players use just the arm and keep their wrist stationary. Others use a little more wrist. So I tend to use a little more wrist just to keep things looser for myself and to stay as relaxed as I can. That helps me. So this is the first movement, forward, okay? The second and third movements are gonna be back front. And we're still gonna make sure that the jingles go all the way front and all the way back, but it's not gonna be as strong, right? Because these are unaccented. So we're gonna go. Okay, and the fourth one is gonna be a strong accent back, but not as strong as the first one. Okay, so we're gonna go, okay, like that. So it's gonna be front, back, 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 front. Together with the surdo, we have boom, 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 boom. Okay, and notice that I have the chocalho up here. I don't have it down here. I don't have it up here. It's a personal thing, but I prefer to have the chocalho at chest level like this. Okay, my shoulders back. My shoulders relaxed. Okay, so now we're gonna do this a little faster. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, 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 boom. And when we play the virada to end, which is this musical device that we can use to start the samba rhythm, to end the samba rhythm, or as a transition between sections of the song, the samba enredo, for example, the way that I play the virada is this. Okay, so I go 1 and 2 and 3. And on 3, I angle the chocalho down. Okay, so that we make sure that all the jingles are in the down position here. Okay, again, if we're going to play the chocalho soon after the virada, I would keep it here. And there's a way that we can turn it around so that the jingles are in the back position. But if we're playing a virada to end, we can go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you this basic pattern for samba on the chocalho using the actual chocalho. This is a beautiful chocalho by Contemporânea. It has a great crisp sound, and let's do it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.